Occultists describe Valak as the president of hell. He appears as a small winged boy who rides a two-headed dragon, and he has the gift of finding riches and treasures. According to the Lesser Key of Solomon, a grimoire used by magic practitioners, he can also tell someone where to find serpents. Valak rules over 30 legions of demons and is one of the older, stronger demonic entities. In The Nun, Father Burke, Damien Beecher, carries the guilt from an exorcism that cost a young child, Daniel, his life. When Valak comes to torment him, he often takes the form of Daniel, and a snake protrudes from his mouth, a clear indicator that Father Burke is dealing with the president of hell. Even though the filmmakers behind The Conjuring 2, Annabelle, Creation, and The Nun portray Valak as a nun, this is not a form the demon typically takes. His standard form is a boy with wings like a goshawk who rides a two-headed dragon. He mostly stays in child form, and according to some demonologists, his innocent disguise allows him to commit devious acts. Some say he was responsible for the Children's Crusade, the movement in 1212 CE in which unarmed children from France and Germany attempted to take Jerusalem from Muslims. Many were sold into slavery or died on the way. Some say Valak was the Pied Piper of Hamelin, leading naive children to their premature deaths. Valak may not always take the form of a child in The Nun, but he does portray himself in another pure form, nuns. When Sister Irene, Teresa Farmiga, first arrives at the Romanian monastery where a nun hanged herself, she tells Father Burke she will talk to the nuns for information. Throughout the film, she believes she is talking to nuns, but in reality, Valak killed them all and is taking on their appearances to trick her. Valak is not known to take the form of a nun, so why did the filmmakers choose this skin? According to the Conjuring director and series producer James Wan, the inspiration for Valak's nun look came from the real Lorraine Warren. From talking to the real Lorraine in passing, she mentioned a spectral entity that has haunted her in her house. And it's this swirling tornado vortex with this hooded figure in there, and I remember hearing that and my first thought was, oh crap, that's going to be a CGI character. I didn't want to do that. And so, it kind of took me a while to cement in my head what this vision was. And it came across eventually in a very organic way. Because it is a demonic vision that haunts her, that only attacks her, I wanted something that would attack her faith. Something that would threaten the safety of her husband. And so that was eventually how the idea of this very iconographic image of a holy icon cemented in my head. Fans of the Conjuring universe and of real-life paranormal investigators Lorraine and Ed Warren are likely familiar with one of the couple's cases, the possession of Maurice Theriault. Theriault appears in The Conjuring when Ed and Lorraine describe the 3 stages of possession: infestation, oppression, and possession. According to the real Ed, the 1985 possession was genuine. Maurice Theriault would bleed from his eyes. During the exorcism, his head split open, and we have that on film. Boil eruptions appeared on his skin, and crosses appeared all over his body. Although the Warrens never discovered what truly plagued Theriault, the filmmakers used his case as a means to connect The Nun to The Conjuring 2. In The Nun, a French-Canadian tomato farmer who goes by Frenchie, Jonas Bloquet, is the first to discover Sister Victoria's hanged body. He subsequently takes Sister Irene and Father Burke to the monastery and helps save Sister Irene during the film's climactic battle with Valak. When Sister Irene asks what his real name is in order to thank him for saving her life, he replies, Maurice. Maurice Theriault. After Sister Irene defeats the demon and sends him back to hell, all seems fine. But just as the credits are about to roll, Maurice scratches his neck, revealing an inverted cross, a sign of the devil. It turns out Valak is not banished at all. He escapes in Frenchie and ultimately makes his way to the Warrens in The Conjuring 2. The Nun bookends with clips of Ed and Lorraine Warren lecturing and showing footage of the exorcism of Maurice Frenchie Theriault. It is during this exorcism that Lorraine first has her vision of Ed dying, the same vision she has in The Conjuring 2. The premonition shakes Lorraine in The Conjuring 2 so much that she decides to lock herself away for 8 days. The Nun replays some of this footage and hints that maybe the Warrens aren't as free of Valak as they think. The universe's mastermind, James Wan, told The Hollywood Reporter that The Nun offers more to Lorraine's story, which strengthens this theory. I do know where potentially, if The Nun works out, where The Nun 2 could lead to and how that ties back to Lorraine's story that we've set up with the first 2 Conjurings and make it all come full circle. The Nun opens in 1952 with 2 nuns walking down an ominous hallway in a Romanian castle. One of the nuns holds a key as she approaches a door that reads "God ends here" in Latin. She enters as the other nun, Sister Victoria, kneels outside the doorway and prays. An unknown force mutilates and kills the first nun, and Sister Victoria bolts to a room where she promptly grabs a noose, asks for forgiveness, and jumps out a window to hang herself. This prompts the Vatican to send Father Burke and Sister Irene to investigate the bizarre death. According to demonologists, demons need a human host in order to rest and exist fully outside of hell. Even though Valak is the president of hell, he still needs a vessel to spread terror and evil. Sister Victoria didn't kill herself out of fear, she killed herself to avoid becoming Valak's host. Audiences first saw Valak in 2016's The Conjuring 2, but the demon has made quiet appearances throughout the series. Sharp-eyed fans can spot Valak as the nun in Annabelle Creation. He stands in the background of an old group photograph of real nuns in a blink and you miss it cameo. He's also in the film's post-credits scene, which sets up the nun. Valak roams the hallways of the Romanian monastery, and candles go out as he glides by. Fans of the Conjuring series first meet the demon Valak in 2016's The Conjuring 2. Ed and Lorraine Warren head to England to help the Hodgson family with a paranormal entity that's disrupting their lives. At first, the demonologists don't see anything too suspicious. But as they stay in the house, Lorraine concludes the demon Valak is responsible for the Hodgson family's misery. Valak takes the form of both a nun and the crooked man as he follows Lorraine, for whom he has a strong hatred. The crooked man is also getting his own spin-off, which means Valak may have another chance to terrorize Lorraine in 2019.